Wow, that's a tough act to follow. But I got a few words as well. First, I'd like to thank everyone that made today possible. Brian and Becky, Mom and Dad, Josh and Beth, of course. It was wonderful, and I think it's going to be wonderful as we go on. So I got a little bit to talk about Josh. So, of course, I appreciate this opportunity, and to say a few words. In the 24 and a half years I've known Josh, I've learned a lot from him. Being the younger brother, I always looked up to him and watched him closely. I always brag about him to people I know, whether it's his past football success, or the way he can either talk his way out of anything or into anything, depending on what the situation needs. If you don't know the side of him, it's a good thing to have in your corner. There's been many situations that his charm has helped us out of. But it's not just his success that I've learned from, it's also his failures. Like the way when we were younger and in trouble, he would always try to talk his way out of getting a spanking. He was almost always unsuccessful and ended up getting more spankings. When it was my turn, I would just line up, pay my dues, and move on. I could never figure out why he would just take the punishment and just move on. A good thing to say here would be that it's because it's a never give up attitude, but I don't think that was it. I have a different theory. It might be because of the day that he was practicing his baseball swing, and he decided that our tire swing was a good place to do so. I was just sitting back there and watching, knowing what would happen. Sure enough, he swings and connects. First with the tire, then with his own head. And then he crumples to the ground. "You're an idiot," I said. "Go get Mom," he says. And off to the hospital we go. If he did have mental problems, they're at least mild enough to not notice. But seriously, Josh has always been there for me. Being the older brother, reminding me of important family events, keeping me in line, making sure I'm doing the best I can. And even though I know he's doing it out of love, I don't want to cross him. I remember the last time I wrestled him. It was his freshman year at ECU. He'd put on about 60 pounds since high school. And he was wrestling me in the hotel room, and he was tossing me around with one arm like a rag doll. That was the day I made the conscious decision never to do that again. But as we got older, the paradigm began to shift a bit. I was the one that he was coming to for advice. This blew my mind. For Josh to come to me, or to not have an answer to something, was beyond my comprehension, because he had always helped me out in the past. I remember when he was telling me about his first meeting Beth. He was like, "She's really cool, she's from here too, but she played at ECU, she's a pirate," boring stuff. That I hardly really listened to. Well, he went on dating her for a while, and she met the family. Of course, we all got along well, because we all saw the easygoing side. We haven't seen the claws yet, I guess. But a little while ago, he came to me and he said, "Jake, how did you know Amber was the one?" Of course, me relishing in the time where I can possibly pay him back for all his brotherly advice, I thought and I said, "Look at your life before Beth was in it. Look at your life now. Which is better? Think of your future with her. Is that something you're looking forward to?" He thought on that for a while, and the next time he came to me for advice was where to buy a ring at. So I'm not saying I'm responsible for today, but kind of helped out. But seriously, Beth, I know Josh loves you with every fiber of his being, and that he wants nothing more than to spend the rest of his life with you. He can be stubborn and unbearable sometimes, but I guarantee that he will never give up on you. With that, let's raise our glasses to Josh and Beth.